Guys. Long time no what? No video posting. But we just had to do this today. So guys, based on popular demand, we'll be talking about the permanent residency immigration route in Canada. Most persons do not know how it works. So here is like a brief rundown of the whole thing. Now, the first thing you need to know is Canada runs a points-based immigration system. So what this means is to determine your eligibility, several factors must be considered. Now, what are these factors? Your age, your work experience, your education, your language capability, approved valid job offer, your marital status, whether you have siblings or a spouse in Canada, or if you were nominated. Now, guys, when it comes to your age, here is what you need to know about it. The moment you clock 30 years old, you start losing points every year. You start losing 5 points this year, 6 points next year, and it goes on. And of course, we know losing points when it comes to this immigration program, it's not a good thing. It's not so much of a good thing, right? Okay, we'll still get back to this on how you can boost your points. But the next point we need to consider is work experience. When you have 3 years work experience, a minimum of 3 years work experience, you get maximum points. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is your level of education. To get the highest point, you need to have a PhD. Now, how many persons have a PhD, right? Now, if you're below 30 years old and you have a master's degree or you have 2 qualifications, you still will be just fine. Now, these educational transcripts will be assessed by a body in Canada. It could be WES, there's ICAS, there's ICES, there's CES. There are a lot of them, but they are the bodies used to assess the equivalence of your qualification in Canada, right? Now, the next thing we need to talk about is your language capability. Now, how do they measure your language capability? They do that by using the IELTS exam. It's called the International English Language Testing System. It's made up of 4 modules: the English, writing, speaking, and reading. Now, to stand a chance in the pool via the skilled worker route, you need to have 8 in listening and then 7 in other modules. Now, if you are single, you definitely have more points. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're married, you can't travel. What you can do in this scenario is your spouse could opt to take the IELTS exam and then also evaluate his transcripts or her transcripts using the bodies we already talked about. Or you could opt that they would unaccompany you. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to just forget your spouse or your spouse cannot join you anymore. When you get to Canada, you can now sponsor your spouse to join you. Now, when you opt for the unaccompanying part, your points will be calculated as though you are single. So like I said previously, you get more points if you are single. And that's the same point you get if you say, okay, yes, I'm married, but at this time, I don't want my spouse to join me yet because, maybe he has a job he's still looking after, or all of that. Now, something else that can improve your score in the pool is a valid job offer. It's called the LMIA job offer. Now, what this means is the employer in Canada would say, okay, we have a shortage of this skill in my organization and we need to fill it. We've not been able to fill it because either people are not as qualified or they are not willing to take the job. Now your employer files for this LMIA assessment, and then is given a document with like a code and all of that. They handle it. Now with that document, you can apply for a job. And now guess what? You get 200 points if you have a valid job offer. Now, if you have like a spouse or a common law partner in Canada or a sibling, you get 15 points. Now, it has to be either of those. You can't claim points from anybody outside that. Again, you can get points if you're nominated in Canada. Now, we talked about the federal skilled worker route in this same video. Another route is the provincial nominee program. Here, a province nominates you, and then you get a whopping 600 points, guys. You see? Now, a province can say, oh, we need nurses, or we need administrative assistants, or we need engineers, or we need paralegals, or, based on their needs, they nominate you, and then you come into the province to fill that need, right? And in some cases, this even comes with like a valid job offer. So you can imagine a valid job offer plus a nomination. Your points are over the roof. Now, based on the current trend that's the CRS score for candidates invited to apply. CRS score is the comprehensive ranking system score based on those factors we talked about. The score has been between 470 to 490. Now, what this means is, okay, if you've lost some points due to your age, but then you get a valid job offer, guess what? You would still be invited because your score will be high. You get an additional 200 points from a valid job offer. Or if you've lost some points because you're married or you're above 30 and then you're nominated by a province, you get a whopping 600 points. Now, 600 compared to the score of those invited lately, you still make the cut, right? So that's just basically what it is about. Now, in order to calculate your score, use this link I've attached. It will take you straight to the Government of Canada's website. You can use it in simulating your scores yourself to know where you fit in, your next line of action. If you're above 30, you know what to do. If you have skills needed in a particular province, you know what to do. So guys, that's basically it. Now at least you have an idea of how the program works. And next time we'll be talking more about this. This is just like the beginning to, so people have an idea of how it works, because when people hear the permanent residency route, they're confused. They don't know how it works. So guys, subscribe so you don't miss notifications. Bye. See you guys next time.